Welcome to Southern Charm Realty TV, creating a real estate experience that you can both trust and love. I'm Tom Schmitz, along with the owner-broker of Southern Charm Realty, Jean Ritt. Jean, how are you today?
I'm great, Tom.
Jean, why a television show to talk about real estate? I mean, real estate's something you view, you walk through, you see, you go on the website and you look at. Why did you pick a show to do for real estate?
Well, there's two reasons that I wanted to do the show and that my agents really encouraged me to do the show. And the first, and probably the most important, was to be able to give our customers a great educational platform to understand what's going on in our real estate market today. This is such a groundbreaking opportunity to have a sit-down conversation every other week with our audience through the Facebook platform. You see, real estate is one of the fastest growing industries and changing industries in our market as far as advertising laws and just what people want. Thanks to the internet first and now social media, there are a plethora of information out there. And our customers are telling us, we have all this information, we see all this, we don't know what to do with it. And it's overwhelming and a little disheartening. So you remember that commercial, Tom, where on TV it was, it must be true because it's on the internet.
Right.
Yeah. My boyfriend's a French model. Ooh la la.
Right.
Right? So this is what our customers and the consumers are feeling right now. So if we could sit down and have a platform where we can give them great information about the market, then we can help them through the process, and it's less stressful and less, scary. Because honestly, it's scary.
So there's a lot of information out there. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, with people using not only the websites of individual realty companies, but they use Instagram and they use Facebook. And now some people are Snapchatting walkthrough videos.
Yes.
And they're periscoping walkthrough videos. There's just a lot of information out there. And so your goal with this show is to bring all that information to one area so someone can get a holistic look at it.
Yeah, and an honest view. That way, they can refer back. They can give us a call because they've seen something, they have a question. We're looking for our audience participation. Through the upcoming shows, we'd like to feature, a question that we've gotten from someone. So feel free to, post something, call us, and we'll feature that question on the show, just to disseminate that information so it helps you, through the process. So
leave us a message right here on Facebook Live. We'll get those messages. We'll be able to answer those to you. And also, is there a website? Is there a email address they can send a question to if they wanted to send a question?
Absolutely. You can send it to Jean@SouthernCharmRealtor.com, and we'll have all that information for you at the end of the show.
Now that's Jean, Jeanne, just so you get the spelling right. Well, let's talk a little bit about our area, Ocala.
Okay. Well, but first, can we jump back? Because the second reason we wanted to do this.
Oh, yeah, there's two reasons.
There's two reasons.
I always forget these things.
Well, that's okay. I forget a lot of things, as my assistant will tell you. So, but the second reason is we are so excited and just so darn passionate about what we do. Real estate is a multifaceted career. We don't just throw people in the car and drive them around town like a tour guide, which is, the public's perception of what we do.
Yeah, because everybody thinks you just show up at a real estate office, you get in a car,
yeah,
you go to a house,
yeah,
they do that little crazy little box that's on the door,
yeah, they
show you the house, you buy it, and you're done.
Yeah, and that's really the middle part of the process. So FAR, which is our Florida Association of Realtors, put out a list of duties that we perform in each transaction. It's 184 line items.
184 things you do from the beginning of a transaction to the end of a transaction.
Absolutely.
Now, when you say the beginning of a transaction, is that when the person walks in and says, I'm looking for a house? Or does that begin when a seller calls you and says, I have a house I want to market?
Well, both, because you've got two sides of it. You know, obviously you have the seller, and then you have a buyer, and we have a lot of fun working both. So we enjoy showing buyers around, working with our buyers and our sellers. So we kind of focus on both, not one or the other. So yeah,
it's like a group effort.
Yeah,
then.
it really is a group effort, you know. And then we're just so passionate about the town we live in. Our community is one of the coolest places that you'll ever, visit.
What is it about Ocala? Because I remember in the economic downturn, a lot of people said Ocala was too real estate centered. Now the business platform of Ocala has changed markedly with different resources and different industries coming in, yet real estate's still in the forefront. Why is it Ocala such a center area for real estate and real estate development?
It's because we're a destination town. You moved to Ocala for two reasons. The first one, retirement. We are the largest retirement community in the world. With the village development down south of us, it has put us over the top. And 60% of our business is retirees.
People forget not only the villages, but on top of the world.
Exactly.
Oak Run.
Yes.
Ocala Palms.
Yeah.
I played golf at Summer Glen, which is a 55-plus retirement community.
Yes.
It's not just the villages.
No, it's not. The
Their
villages
put us over the
top. And you have that whole area down south that's kind of centered around the villages, right? Because it's a lifestyle. You can buy houses in the villages over $1 million, but you can buy them as low as 250.
I didn't realize you could do that on top of the world too.
Yeah.
It's on top of the world from mid 100s to the mid 500s.
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yes. So you've got the South, and it's busting and booming, and everybody's driving their golf carts all down the streets. And so that's all about that busy, very active retirement lifestyle. And then you come up this way off of 200, and it's a quieter. Now, you still have the activities, but it's a quieter kind of setting. And so you've got retirees that don't want the hustle and bustle. They want a more laid back atmosphere. So what's cool about our retirement community and village is that we have something for everybody's lifestyle.
When you said destination town, it really is because of all that you can do here with the springs and the golf and the entertainment.
Yeah, and that's another part of that destination. Is the second largest reason people move here in destination is because of our horse industry. Tom, did you know that we employ 77,000 people just in the equine industry in Marion County?
77,000 people in Marion County in the equine industry.
Yep.
I was aware that it was a big industry. I was not aware that it was 77,000 large.
Yes. So it's a winter thing. We have some of the top.
It is very seasonal.
Yeah, it's seasonal. We have some of the top horse shows in the country. People travel from all around the world to be able to horse show and live in Ocala in the wintertime. Then we have our thoroughbred industry, which has been a big part. When I was a kid, Ocala was still a destination town. The reason people moved here was ag, horses, and the mobile home industry. Well, the mobile home industry through that last recession really took a beating. So now we're down to 3 manufacturers where we had 15 manufacturers. So that's kind of faded to the side. People aren't moving here because of that anymore. But the horses and the thoroughbreds and all the different horse show and disciplines, they are. And now with the World Equestrian Center, which is a new venue, it's kind of changing that dynamic again. So it's really interesting how that's all going. But then you mentioned the ecotourism. It's huge here.
Huge.
Our national resources are incredible. We have the 5th largest forest, or
national forest.
National forest is the way to say that. And people come from Europe, South America, to be able to hike and fish and canoe and use those resources. And I think our community is really getting behind that and really pushing and making the experience that much more. So
then you got Silver Springs, which is the largest springs of its type
Yeah.
in the world.
yeah, we have
That's just outside our door.
5
you got
bottling
Rainbow
companies.
Springs.
Yep.
You got the Blue Spring. You got all kind of springs everywhere around
Alexander
here. You got
and
Alexander. Then you got
Juniper.
You got the rivers, the Withlacoochee up
Yeah.
in Denellen. You got the Ocklawaha right here, plus
Silver
the
River.
lakes. You got all the lakes around here. It really is an ecotourism boomtown.
It is. It really is. So you'll never be bored in Ocala or Marion County if you love to be outside. But then we have on the other side, for a small town, which we still are. I mean, number-wise, we're getting to a little metropolitan, but it's still a small town feel. And so with that being said, we have an incredible arts program in downtown. We have one of the nicest privately owned museums in the country.
The Appleton
with the Appleton.
is amazing.
Isn't that cool?
It really is amazing.
They had the Frida show. I love Frida. That's one of my favorite artists.
Now because you've been here, you grew up here, this is your hometown.
Yeah.
You've seen the downtown area be very vibrant.
Yes.
Back to boarded up with wood on windows and very little going on. And now again, an explosion downtown. What is it about a downtown area that helps your business, real estate?
Well, that's a good question. I got to think about that for a minute. Because the downtown area, we're a pub town. We're not a nightclub town. You know, if you're coming from Miami or Tampa.
An eatery with pub style atmosphere.
Yeah, with a pub style. So you can do a pub crawl downtown all night long. But it's safe, it's fun, there's great music, there's fabulous food, and people are nice. I mean, my nephew was here from New Jersey this weekend, and we're in the grocery store, and you make eye contact, and people were saying hello, and it was freaking him out. He was like, "What's wrong with these people?" And I said, "That's just the way we are here."
How would you not do that?
I know. We're all Southern. It's we would have got smacked upside our head if we
didn't. Southern
didn't.
charm,
Well, there you go. There you go. And hence, where I came up with the name. But the downtown really does give everybody of all ages, a fun place to mingle and do activities.
Is it something you can use as a broker, as a tipping point when you're selling people to come from out of town to Ocala? Do you use the downtown and the nightlife
We do.
and the arts of the Riley Theater and the Appleton Museum and the Ocala Civic Theater? Do you use those as tipping points to bring people's interest
We do.
to Ocala?
Again, we have one of the oldest historic districts in Florida. And when you go out of downtown onto 5th Street and that whole historical area, people may not want to live there, but they enjoy that, that history and, the architecture, and that's really cool. So you combine all that, and it gives Ocala, really, we do have a very Southern, charming kind of atmosphere. You've got things to do on the arts and cultural level, but we also have, everything outdoors. And so we are unique to, any other town in Florida.
Some things we're going to discuss on this show. We're going to bring people in to talk about finance. Mm-hmm. We're going to bring people in to talk about insurance, how to insure your homes and stuff like that. All things that are relative to your business. You have to deal with those things all through the process of buying real. When you're a real estate agent, with the buyer and the seller, you have to help them through all that process, don't you?
Well, exactly. And it's a learning curve. Again, there's all that information out there on the internet, a plethora of it, and how to use it. Well, it is a process, and it's very, very scary for our consumers, whether they be first-time buyers or second-time buyers or third. It's the most money that they're going to spend in a lifetime for the majority of them, right? So there is a process, and it's not about going and looking at the houses first. It's about sitting down and seeing how much you can spend, where you're comfortable, what the costs are going to incur being, through that process, and then finding a great home. I mean, we start a journey. This is what's so exciting about real estate. It's a journey. Each of our customers, we take on a personal journey, well, through their ups, through their downs, and all their nervousness or excitement. We do that with them.
So it sounds like some of the fun of what you do is that no one journey is exactly the same.
Exactly. And you know what? That journey doesn't end with them moving into the home. You've shared such a personal connection. If we are true professionals, then it's a lifetime. I'm been doing this a long time, and already I'm like on my friends' kids, and are downsizing for customers or upsizing for customers. So that customer, I'm going to be in their life the next 25, 30 years. It's pretty cool. There's a beautiful connection.
So we're going to talk about real estate primarily on this show.
Correct.
But not buying
Exclusive.
and selling. We're going to talk about all the steps it takes through real estate. Now, if somebody's watching this show, we've talked a lot about residential real estate.
Right.
Is there going to be times we'll cover commercial real estate?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because right now our commercial is booming. It got real stagnant, obviously, during the downtime, as a lot of things did. But industries are coming to Ocala for a lot of good reasons. One, our tax base is low. Two, there's a lot of growth happening in Ocala through the retirement and the horses. Think about it. There's all that subset of, vendors that service that. And so you have a lot of medical here. We have 4 friggin' hospitals in this little area. Gainesville doesn't even have that many.
Right.
So there's a lot of opportunity for industry to move into Ocala. Right now, the county is looking at different areas to rezone them more commercially. We don't have enough real commercial to accommodate everything the CEP has done to bring in new business, with the warehousing and facilities with FedEx and all of that happening, out west of town. I-75 is a vein that runs through the Midwest all the way down to, South Florida.
How much of an advantage is it to have things like 75 and 301? 301 cuts through the center of the state of Florida from Jacksonville all the way to Tampa.
Uh-huh.
And then 75, like you said, comes from Chicago all the way to Miami.
Right.
So you have 2 main arteries that converge, right, and 441 is a main national highway, is an artery. So you really have 3 arteries that converge right in the city of Ocala. It's almost like Ocala's a center hub.
Well, it is. And here's the thing. Ocala is the 5th largest, I believe, county in Florida. We're huge. We're huge. And with that, it literally will take you 30 minutes to drive from north all the way to the south end of the county. 75 really helps and makes it a little shorter, but that's a lot of miles. It will take you an hour to get from the east of the county all the way over to the west side of the county, and it's a lot of area to cover. So having these main arteries and veins in 75 really allows people to get through these big spaces quickly. Now, the cool thing is I read a report probably about 10 years ago, and I'm not sure who did it. I can't remember, I'll be honest. But Ocala was the #1 stop off of 75, either for gas, to sleep, or food. Our exits are used more than any other exit in Florida from 75.
It is a halfway point. I have lots of friends living in the Atlanta area that I grew up, I grew up
Right.
in Georgia, so I know a lot of people in the Atlanta area, and I have a lot of friends in Miami, and they know each other because we all went to college together
Right.
and all. The stopping point, I have so many friends that call me and say, hey, I'll be in Ocala for lunch. I'm stopping over for the evening. How about we get lunch tomorrow? I'm on my way to Miami. Or my friends from Miami say, hey, I'm being Ocala. I'm going to stop for the night. How about getting lunch tomorrow? I'm on my way to Atlanta.
Exactly.
It's literally the midway
It is,
point
and
between
200,
Miami and Atlanta.
200 is probably the most used exit as far as that. And okay, so here's a funny story. Growing up here, we had horses, and in the summertime, we'd take a lunch like in a brown bag and tie it around our saddle and just take off. And one day my dad called my mom and said, do you know where your kids are? And she said, no, they took off on their horses this morning. He said, they're riding down the middle of 200. We could do that back then. The traffic was nothing. When I was a senior in high school, the mall came. It finally opened. We didn't have a mall. The
mall opened 10 years ago.
Yeah, right.
10 years
yeah,
ago.
I'm only 39. Remember that. So you could see that on our back 10 acres, you could see the lights to the mall, where I couldn't get anybody to pick me up if my car was broken down because they're like, oh my God, you live so far out. Yeah, now my house was the most popular hangout for all the kids because 5 minutes you were at the mall. So the changes, like you were saying, 75 exploded R200, right? Now you aren't going to ride a horse down 200
No.
anymore, but yeah.
The beauty of Ocala, though, is even though it is growing and bustling, you can still get that small town Southern charm feel.
Yeah, and that's what is so wonderful about living here. And like you, I've traveled, after college, I took off. I lived in Miami. I lived in, West Palm, Atlanta, Nashville, Memphis. And I never thought I'd come home. 'Cause I'm like, when I left here, oh my God, this town is so slow, right? I'm in my mid-20s. There's nothing to do, no nightlife. I can't imagine living anywhere else after traveling around the country the way I have.
I'm looking at my notes here. I'm sorry. I got notes of what I need to do.
That's right. We both have notes because Tom and I can talk, and then we can forget you guys are there, and this could be a 2-hour show if we're not careful.
Well, let's talk for a minute about the things that are important to this show. Viewer interaction is going to be very important.
Very important.
Because you want to know what the consumer's thinking.
Absolutely.
You want to know their questions, their thoughts, how you can give them answers to questions they have so that it takes the scariness out of the job of buying a home.
Absolutely.
Now, once again, you can do that by going on Facebook Live. In the comments section, you can put in the comment section any questions you have. We'll address them the next time we're here. I say we. Jean will be taking over the hosting duties after this show. This was the inaugural show. She said she was a little frightened about it. Yeah, you see how frightened she was, right?
Well, yeah. Okay. So my agents will tell you I push them a lot out of their comfort zone. And because of that, they're in the 1 percentile of income earners in this town. They are some of the most respected agents out there, and we're happy to say everybody likes to work with them. But there's a lot of kicking and screaming when I go, you need to do that. You need to get out of your comfort zone. So I have to say this was tough for me, this first one, but it's fun actually.
Well, and Jean's gonna bring on people from the finance world, people from the insurance world, people who can tell you how to look, title companies, inspections. She's going to cover a gamut of the real estate world. Bring on her agents to talk about listings. It's going to be a really, really good, inclusive show. I really encourage everyone to tune in. It's the second and fourth Tuesday of every month.
Yes.
It's the Southern Charm Real Estate TV, Southern Charm Realty TV, creating a real estate experience that you can trust and love. I wasn't supposed to say that.
I
let
was.
Jean Ritt say
Yeah,
that.
well,
Again now. See,
yeah.
Jean, you go ahead and say it.
So I'll say that. So Southern Charm Realty TV, we want to create a real estate experience that you can trust and love. That's the goal.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you. I look forward to this.